sailing through Greece, we came across an island that has called the best and brightest people from all over the world to its shores. This is Lesvos.
Lesbos. This is the city of Mytilene, 35,000 people. And it's definitely the hub of economic activity on the island. Lesbos is the third largest island in Greece, so it's quite large. There's a lot of different communities here.
My name is Rachel Leclerc. I am the project manager of Better Days Project Eco Hub, which is located here on the grounds of One Happy Family Community Center. Under the motto, with, not for, so it's very much directed by, created with, run alongside with the refugee community itself.
My name is Julia. I'm part of the coordination team of One Happy Family. Our goal is to be a happy, colorful, peaceful, but very active place where people can have goals, achieve goals, learn new skills, relax, get new energy for their next steps of their journeys. We have around 8 partners on the ground, partner organizations. People make sports. We have schools, classrooms, the volleyball team. We're refugee volunteers. 60 to 70 helpers are the heart of the whole project. They're the ones who lead the different activities. They're the ones who teach in the school. They make the rules. They give their opinions about everything. And this is like the most important for us.
A little mini economy, like a little mini city here.
Yeah, it is kind of a little city or village. We have the doctors, we have a school, we have everything that a village also has. This is a beautiful garden, built and run by Together for Better Days.
We have a permaculture-based garden. That's the kind of the headquarters of what we do out here. Grows vegetables, we have flowers, we do environmental education for kids in this beautiful building that we're sitting in. It's part greenhouse, part classroom. So lots of different groups of people all working together, but very symbiotic.
I'm Elena Mustaka. I moved to Lesbos at the beginning of the crisis in early November 2015. The island has been supported from a group of grassroots organizations that came together in early 2015 and still provide services on the island. The majority of people that you've interviewed and the people that I still work with are people that have a very similar background. They're professionals from a separate industry that came to volunteer for a couple of weeks, and then they expanded for a month and for 3 months, and then went back home and came back and stayed. So we're here because we didn't enjoy working in corporate fields. You arrive here and there's so much in you in terms of academic and professional experience that can have such a massive impact. You will see that there's a shared vision on dignifying the way that we distribute aid and give agency to the community to be able to co-design the programs that we provide with us and be a part of it.
Lesvos was the focal point of the world in 2016. Its tiny village communities suddenly thrust into the spotlight by news and media outlets everywhere.
Hi, I'm Nick. I work with Lighthouse Relief. I first came to Lesbos in 2015, so I was 18 years old. This month, so far, we've had 688 new arrivals. Even though media attention might have completely dried up as well as funding, this situation is still occurring. Our numbers are still really high, and the dinghies are still in the same condition. They are not supposed to be used in crossing over this stretch of water, and the situations we find ourselves in, it's search and rescue. We have a large responsibility here on the North Shore. So we currently spot for 21 hours every day. What happens is if we spot a boat that's crossing from Turkey, or if we're informed of a boat, the landing team will depart from Scala Sycaminius within 5 minutes. So that's a team of the emergency response coordinator, 3 volunteers, and then myself. Caracas is a lighthouse, so many people might know that a lighthouse is to mark danger. So you might be able to see it is just that stretch of land. For people crossing in the middle of the night, they see the lighthouse and it's just the only light they can see. So they're going to head towards the light. So if any boat approaches Caracas and they spot it, they're the first responders on scene. A lot of us don't have experience in emergency response, but we provide constant training basically on a daily basis on how to spot, how to respond to landings, and also first aid training.
So an unaccompanied asylum-seeking child is a child that has been separated from his family. The process is that they arrive, they're identified as unaccompanied minors, and then they go into the sections. So everybody who arrives on the island has to go through Moria. The statistics have been quite shocking for us to see how many unaccompanied minors or minors in general are arriving from the total population. People say Moria has been built to accommodate 2,000 people, then 3,000 people, then 3.5, then 5. It's still a camp, and it's still a terrifying, horrifying place to live in for long periods of time. You see a spike in self-harm, depressions, physical illness, people getting ill faster and more frequently.
يعني برات سوريا يعني أنا معلمة جوزي موظف بالبنك أولادي طلاب مدارس يداومون مدارسهم على نجح على تخرج على بنتي دخلت الجامعة ابني دخل كلية حقوق ما كان عندنا أبدا فكرة عن أي شيء ثاني يعني حتى برات سوريا أبدا ما كنا نفكر نطلع يعني فكان الطريق يعني صعب وسيء جدا يعني كله مشي وجبال وكذا يعني في صعوبات واكثر شيء يعني الماء حطمت لاني معي ديسك وألمني كثير يعني فعلا حطمني وثالث شيء انه اكل ما في على الطريق وهذا مو يعني ذات قيمه يعني الحمد لله رب العالمين بالاخير وصلنا بس انه التعب الجسدي فعلا يعني اخذ منا اذا رجعت امورها طيبه ووضعها كويس وهاي يعني بلدنا يعني اولى بينا بالنتيجه يعني فالرقم ما هي يعني ما تشجع انه الواحد يسكن ويستقر ويأسس او يبدا او يعني حتى لو من جديد يعني انا رسائل اللي اتمناه او اللي يعني اريده انه مثلا احنا طلعنا من حاله حرب مهيئ ومحسن اكثر من ايش كانت هاي امنيتنا يعني حاليا ان شاء الله الامور تمشي بشكل طيب والله يسعد الجميع ان شاء الله.
The gap in education seemed to be systematic and really concerning, and Better Days found its place in the field by providing education for unaccompanied minors. And we started by challenging the traditional way of providing education within this space.
There's something very, very therapeutic about engaging with nature, sinking your hands into the soil. There's a lot of people here who have been through a lot. I can only imagine how that would feel to somebody who is surrounded by barbed wire and cement all day long. It's a place where people come and they can take a breath. We have 3 people on staff. Myself as project manager, we have project assistant, James.
So remember, if you know the answer.
And our interpreter and translator, Rahib. Then we have international volunteers staying anywhere from a couple of weeks to several months.
So I'm James, I'm working as the project assistant for EcoHub with Better Days. I've been here on Lesbos around 5 months. Well, I've been working in the UK with refugees for like 4 or 5 years or so. We help deliver classes to kids from the School of Peace, which is around 160, 180 students a week. No reading or writing, so that sort of slows things down, and we're already working with interpreters, which sort of halves the pace. Like the kids planted a lot of the vegetables in the garden and seeded them as well, which is very cool when they can sort of see the seed go in, we take care of it, understand that plant came from that seed, they sort of transplant it in and then get to eat the cucumber. They then like come in and just like try and take cucumbers, like, it's my cucumber. It's like, yeah, it is your cucumber. The food's for everyone, so yeah, that happens. And try and keep it really hands-on and focused and learn by doing. Because it's the way people have been doing things for thousands of years, hey? Yeah. So it is basically the norm, like modern agriculture is not normal. It's not normal.
Then we have our garden helper team, Benny from the Congo, Reza from Afghanistan, Zahra from Afghanistan. They have been with us now for quite a long time.
Je m'appelle Benny, je viens du Congo, Kinshasa, RDC. C'est un réel plaisir, c'est magnifique, c'est génial, c'est très beau. J'aime une autre perspective par rapport à l'avenir, au monde, c'est l'écologie. Ça m'a donné encore un réel plaisir de protéger la nature, de contribuer à soutenir les écologistes. Moi-même, je suis écologiste déjà. Pour être franc, j'ai jamais rêvé, non, en fait, j'ai jamais rêvé enseigner, parce que j'ai jamais enseigné bien avant. J'aimerais bien continuer encore, enseigner aux enfants, leur apprendre, leur dire pourquoi la permaculture, pourquoi c'est important, pour assurer l'avenir. C'est ce que nous voulons, parce que maintenant, les évolutions technologiques ont apporté les méfaits au monde. C'est nous et la génération qui vient, c'est très important.
Here we have the School of Peace, 12 to 3, it's adult school. And then in the afternoon it's the kids' school, so 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock the bus comes with the kids. They're coming from Moria, Karatepe and Mytilene. They're always very active and very energetic.
My name is Roni. I'm originally from Israel. We arrived to Lesvos in February 17. 2 organizations from Israel, 2 youth movements actually. One is of Jewish and one of Arabs. They decided to do something together. As we continue to hear what's going on in Syria, we decided to do something. People from both sides that know what is conflict. And the idea is to create a place for kids and adults from all the cultures by teachers from your own culture and that speaks your own language. You learn to read and to write in your mother tongue. The teachers actually are refugees themselves. You learn Greek, you learn math, you learn arts, you learn sports. I don't understand much the Syrian culture or Iraqian. I work in education in Israel and I have my experience and they have their experience, and together we create this place. The school is kind of a bridge between the past and the future. And we're trying to get the school bigger and we're trying to understand what are the needs. Not what we want to do, not we want to develop, not what we think that is important now. We're trying constantly to work with the parents, with the teachers, and to understand the needs.
We have our own currency. It's called Swiss drachmas. So they can use it, for example, for getting a coffee or getting tea, smoking shisha, getting pampers for their kids, getting a haircut. So all the activities that we have, they can decide what they want to use. And with this, of course, we also give them back this responsibility of taking care about themselves, taking care about their communities, their families, and be responsible. Because they all know how to be responsible. This is the cinema, and we show different kind of movies. Mostly we try to have educational movies or documentaries. Then we have the barbershop here. So every day, I think 10 people can get a haircut, and they also pay with the drachmas. People can get balls and card games from here, the guitars for the guitar classes. This is the cyber coffee, where we have computer classes, typing classes. This is Nico, it's also one of the coordinators.
Hello, they help them filling out the tax application forms. Also, we have cooperation with the University of the Aegean, the local university, and they do, for example, just today they did a course in Excel, and they offer other things for helping people integrate into society and get jobs.
This is the main hall, so it's with, if we have an art table, if we paint, if we have a workshop specific, it's always happening in here. And there you can still see the banner of the African Culture Days, because there are many new people arriving from different African countries, and we want them to feel welcome and have all the different nationalities here.
Seeing this mountain of broken dreams was staggering. Even more so was finding out that these smuggler-made life jackets are not even real and would drag any who go overboard to the bottom of the sea.
Basically, when the boats arrive, the people get off, they drop their life jackets, they get out of the boat is deflated, the engine is taken or destroyed so that they couldn't be reclaimed, sent back to Turkey and used again for smuggling. It's all a big economic operation as well. And then the dinghy rubber is basically just trash. This is what's left after one massive truckload has just left for Mytilene. So just as a strictly raw material, it's waterproof. It can be used for a number of different things. And actually quite a lot of the island as a whole is crafted out of dinghy material. So the remnants of it are everywhere. So this is what we call the cheese factory. For a long time, Lighthouse Relief also used it as their upcycling headquarters. So the eco project would clean the beaches, bring the material here, kind of wash it, cut it to the appropriate sizes, store it, send it to Athens, send it to Berlin, use it here. You have these materials. They are the property of the refugees that purchase them in the passage that they buy. We also want to make it possible for them to reclaim that material that belongs to them and use it in some way for their own economic benefit or for their own learning opportunity. So they were making carpets out of life jacket material and upcycled blankets, that kind of thing. But there's also a recognition that it's material that has the potential to trigger memories that are not good and has the potential to activate trauma.
My name is Luisa. I am from Portugal. I came to Lesbos the first time in October of last year. I decided to come here for 3 weeks, and then it just turned into 7 months. And yeah, I'm very happy here. And during the summer months, Eco Relief Project, its main purpose is to clean the north shore of the island.
The group of volunteers we have of all ages from all around the world, there isn't that divide that you might experience at home of, oh, they see us as lazy and we're just going out on holidays, not really doing anything, not achieving anything. When, no, we're the most engaged generation of basically all forms of activism and on all topics. And this really represents that.
Young people that have been from country to country, prosecuted, hiding, running from point A to point B to point C to arriving on Lesbos. They've missed a lot. They haven't developed in a way that our kids develop, that should be taken into consideration when developing programming that is supposed to allow for continuity in education and accreditation and growth. And that's the goal of GECO, to allow for kids to heal, to lick their wounds, to regrow their tails, and for them to be able to communicate clearly on where they want to be in a few years, what do they want to achieve. And we become the facilitators of them getting what they need to get to their goals. And we work within chaos. And chaos can be destructive and creative, but also bring together incredibly passionate individuals and professionals within the educational field.
We want to either fight or we want to run away.
And that experience has become a volcano of knowledge.
We have books for all the languages, sorted in different languages for adults, for kids. We always need more Farsi books because it's very difficult to get. Everyone can come take the books, I think for 1 week, and then they have to bring it back. Here we have the maker space, and they have bike repairing, phone fixing, speaker fixing, everything that they fix, repair, recycle, upcycle. Hello. The Multimedia Studio here, they do filming, photography class, a lot of different things.
I'm Kiara, and I started this project here in One Happy Family a year ago. It's called Where Borders Meet, and it's a refugee media production studio. So in here we host workshops for refugees about media skills in order to give them a voice on social media. So in here we have all kinds of production. So today we have an exhibit for our Refugee Journal magazine, and it's designed and written by refugees. Here we have some posters of the different kinds of workshop that we have. So we also just had the graphic designing. This is a good way for refugees to learn skills with computers, and in this way it's very easy to, for example, become a freelancer. The reason why I came here with the recorder and started doing interviews is because I have my own radio show back in the Faroe Islands. The more interviews I did, the more I realized how much it's needed to actually document this stuff, because we're basically creating history in Lesbos right now.
This thing exists, and it's a beautiful thing. It exists because people come together and they want to build something together. Having that sense of ownership in a project is really important. Part of that means that we allow each other to make mistakes. We obviously want to deliver as much as we can to the kitchen, but the learning process and the community that we build here in the process is just as important. Everybody walking through the garden gate every morning and feeling like those beds are theirs to design, to do with what they want, to take care of, to nourish. I think it leads to a beautiful learning process within the team, a beautiful community that exists within the team, and then hopefully beautiful plants as well. I think it's really lovely when you can take cultural knowledge from different parts of the world and bring it together and take the best solutions that exist and implement it in a kind of an experimental environment like this.
Compost. All the good stuff. Onions, some cabbage.
My name is Sam. I'm a volunteer here at Eco Hub in the garden. I arrived about 10 days ago, doing a little bit of translation work for some courses as well. In French, and thinking about some cool fermentation projects in the future. This is a space that really invites and welcomes and helps to bolster individual creativity. Like when you come with wonderful ideas, when those ideas are supported, understood, questioned, made much stronger and fortified, and then presented to the people that we're going to be profiting from them the most, I think that's a really fulfilling circle.
This is also one of the most important, the outdoor cooking area. So yeah, they cook for 800 to 1,000 people every day in here, and it's a team of 4 people. It's a miracle how they can cook for that many people, but it always works.
سلام، رضا نیازی هستم. بله، با مردم‌های بیشتر آشنا شدم، مثلا پدر فامیلم اینجا نیست دیگه، مثلا مثل یک فامیل برای ما شده یا دیگه است.
Reza's specialty is building. Every now and then you come and you find raised beds or planter boxes in very intricate shapes. So one day we found the star raised planter, which he made specifically for the women's garden. It's lovely to see people using their creativity and their special skills that they have to make this place really their own.
چیزهای دیگه که مثلا میتونن درست کنن از روح ما برمیایه بتونیم ما رو خوب است آشنایی بیشتر مثلا یک چیز است میگه هرچی دانستن عیب نیست ندانستن عیب است.
I didn't realize how important it was, and you can see it when you walk in. We had somebody the other day walk into the garden and someone sitting on a pallet under an olive tree, and the medical volunteer was literally just holding the person. That kind of experience isn't possible in very many places around here because they're busy and they're not very comfortable, and we're very happy to be able to provide that.
Different plant here for everyone. This is for me.
I'm Zahra. I'm from Afghanistan. اینجا بهش فارسی میگم. بعد متولد ایران، چون شرایط زندگی تو ایران برای مهاجر اصلا خوب نبود، تصمیم گرفتیم مهاجرت کنیم برای تحصیل، برای زندگی بهتر. چون هم میتونم یه کمک بکنم به همشهریای خودمون که بیشتر مردمی که اینجا میان همشهریای ما و مردم آسیب‌دیده از یه کلاس، یه ورکشاپ 2 هفته یا 3 هفته‌ای بود. آره قبلا میدونید تو ایران رشتم ریاضی بود، بعد به هنر و اینا خیلی علاقه داشتم، اما خودتون میدونید تو ایران نمیشه، به مهاجرت زمینه نمیدن که آدم راحت بتونه اون چیزی که دوست داره رو دنبالش بره. دنبالش بودم اما قبلا نمیدونستم چجوریه. حتی فکرها و یه طرح‌های تو مردم یاد میده که از تمام چیزایی که دارن به نحو احسن استفاده کنن، اینکه با هم خوب باشن، به هم دیگه احترام بذارن، حالا از هر فرهنگ و نژادی که هستن.
Living in a scenario where you're with like the same people every single day, you're sharing rooms, it just creates a really close-knit family where you're more comfortable opening up about literally everything. We're all here for the same reason. We've all got the same motivations to help however we can. And to meet them for 3 weeks and still have such a close connection that like you cry when they leave and you're really sad and it's just like they were just here for 3 weeks compared to people who've been here for like 6 months, kind of just speeds up all of those positive relationships you can form with people. Here you can gain those skills and also have a direct impact at the same time and meet the most amazing people, get the most amazing connections. And we're always in need of people. But I'd recommend anyone to start researching. If you're planning your next holiday or if you're looking to try and save up, come out to Lesbos. We need so much support and there's so many different NGOs here who would be happy to have you.
I'm living in 3 weeks. So it was supposed to be 3 months, became 4. And I would really love to stay here, but I can't. If it would have been up to me, I would have stayed here a year. It's a magical place, this island, for better and worse. The people here are just extraordinary. No one really belongs here. There's a lot of pain in this place. And where there's a lot of pain, there's also the opposite. Everything is meaningful here. Every action you do, every action you don't do. And I'm starting to question if I'm doing enough. If this is the best I can do. And it's a question, where do I take this energy of mine? I still don't know the answer.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't think any of us have any definitive answers.
But I know that I'll be back.
But you're doing the best you can.
I don't know. How can you know if you're doing the best you can?
Well, at least you're trying to do the best you can.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Maybe I'm trying to do the thing that is most comfortable for me.
Maybe.
It's not that just easy, I won't lie, but I think that the most important thing that people are learned that it's possible. No matter what, people get along. It's not mean that we need to agree on everything. Doesn't mean that the history doesn't count. But in the end, when people speak, when people meet, they have so much in common, and together they can change a lot of things.
It's a matter of decision. You make the decision to contribute somehow. We owe it to them, to us, to everybody, to the future generation. Care. It's our obligation.
Mon pays des rêves, ça s'appelle le pays des paix. Là où il y a la paix, c'est là où je suis content, je suis heureux. La paix.
The earth is our home, and helping heal the earth is something that can bring us all together. That transcends a lot of the differences that exist between us.
Everyday people. That's who comes here. And in search of solutions amidst the sea of chaos, become extraordinary. Leaving this place was not easy, but I knew that I too would someday return. I can only hope with more help than I brought last time. If you are hearing a call right now, please chase it.